All right, so in this video we're checking out the DYU D3F. This is a mini folding city electric bike. Has 14-inch wheels. It does have a fold on the handle. I'll show you that a little bit later. The seat does go down and the pedals do fold down. So it does make the size a bit more compact than it is when you're riding it. You know, it doesn't fold in the middle. The battery is actually in the middle. It's a 36 volt system at the battery is a 10 amp hour battery. So in the front here we got a 160 millimeter disc brake, and also the same in the back. They're both mechanical disc brakes. Got a small kickstand here in the back. Got a small light here in the front. You have this rear attachment for a light that has a little button. You can turn that on. And this is actually not connected to the bike battery. It has a little small battery that powers that. The seat is adjustable here. You have to make sure that this thumb screw is tightened down pretty good for this little holder so that it doesn't slip, because it isn't really tight out of the box. So taking a look at the handlebar, you have just some basic grips here. Power button to turn the bike on and off. Just press the button here. A little bell. You have a latch here to adjust the angle of the handlebar. You have the battery meter here, 4 bars here, and then this button here, if you press and hold it, it will turn the front headlight on. So that's what it looks like when it's on. And alternatively, if you just press the button while you have the throttle on, it will go into cruise control and maintain your speed. It's a full twist throttle, so the whole thing will twist, and that's for throttle mode only. It does have pedal assist mode, because it does have obviously pedals here. It's a single gear system. Basically, it's useful for going slower speeds, and if you go faster than about 10 miles an hour, it doesn't really do much. You should probably just use electric mode only. So the rated range on this is about 30 to 50 miles on pedal assist, and about 20 to 30 miles if you're just using throttle only. Of course, that does depend on the terrain. If you're on more hilly terrain, it's going to reduce your range. If you're a heavier rider, it's probably going to reduce your range a little bit more. It's probably for like a 160 to 180 pound rider. It is rated to climb up to 15-degree incline, so it should be okay for most hills. And it can carry riders up to 265 pounds. So the max speed on here is limited to 15.5 miles per hour. And that speed is driven by a 240 watt rear hub motor. And overall the bike weighs about 38 pounds, so it's fairly easy to get. If you want to carry it on a train or a bus, something like that, just fold up a little bit and you can kind of carry it in there without taking up too much space. So overall the bike did come very well packaged. It was very easy to put together, mostly assembled out of the box, so pretty much not a whole lot to do. You have to install the rear fender and the pedals, of course. It took about 15 or 20 minutes to actually assemble the whole bike, so if you're looking for something that's pretty easy to put together out of the box, it's going to be one of those. Alright, so I'm going to do a pedal assist speed test here. I'm going to see how long it takes to go from standing still, to about the maximum speed you can get just from pedaling. So let's go ahead and get started here. Start pedaling. The motor kicks in like kind of gradually. It's not abrupt at all. So you're not going to be like bounced off the bike at all, and it picks up more as you pedal. And now I'm at the maximum speed right now. And when I made my maximum speed, is like I feel like I'm hamster wheeling, or I'm out of pedal basically. I'm pedaling. There's no resistance in the pedal. It just it's basically all motor. There's a little bit of surging. You can kind of feel the motor kicking on and off. It kind of pushes you a little bit and then it comes off. It's not bad. It's actually hardly noticeable at all. Okay, I'll do the same test now, but from the same spot. This time I'm not going to pedal. I'm just going to use the throttle only and see how long it takes me to get to maximum speed. It's going to be a little bit faster, and let's go. So again, the gradual power, and it starts picking up. So not quite at full speed yet. All right, so now we're about full speed right here. This is about the max speed. I'm on a level surface right now. All right, so now we're going to go up a little bit of an incline here on just throttle only. So no problems. Still going up. It's probably about a 10-degree incline. I'm not really losing any speed at all. Just a little bit of speed. Still plenty fast. And now we're back on level ground. And let's do a little braking test from full speed. So a little bit of surging in the brakes, but probably now 10, 15 feet in stopping. So I didn't feel like I was going to get thrown off the bike either. So brakes work pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick parking garage incline test. This is roughly 15 degrees, might be a little bit more. Let's see. So throttle only from a standstill. So I'm about 200 pounds, 6 feet tall, and it is not going fast, but it is going up. And I'm not pedaling at all, it's just going up on throttle only. So if you're worried about inclines, it can go up, it just goes up kind of slow. So getting up here towards the top, and we're going pretty slow. But it made it up, no problem. All right, let's try that again with just pedaling. Let's see if my speed's any different. So the way the pedal assist works, it actually provides more power the more you pedal. So I'm just going to provide a little bit of pedaling power here, not exerting myself too much. And actually, I'm going up probably faster if I'm pedaling. And I'm not really pushing the pedals too hard, considering it's a single speed, but yeah, it goes up faster if you pedal. If you're wondering if it's better to go up hills pedaling or throttle only, you'll go up faster if you're actually pedaling. Okay, so just a little bit more background information on the riding characteristics of this bike. So overall, admittedly, I feel like I'm kind of a giant on this small bike with these 14-inch wheels, but when you're actually riding the bike, it doesn't really feel like it's that small. With the seat height being adjustable, I do feel like it is high enough for me at least. I think that though, because it's single speed, and if you are going to be pedaling it, you might want to raise the seat a little bit higher, but it does limit your speed to, I think, about on level surfaces around 10, 11 miles an hour. And even if you push it harder, it doesn't go much faster. So if you want to go faster up to the maximum speed of the bike, it's 15.5 miles per hour. You are going to have to be using the throttle mode and just using the throttle. And if you're doing that and going faster, then I feel like the seat height being a little bit lower is probably going to feel a little bit more stable. Just because the bike is got some small wheels, and if you're a heavier rider like me, the seat being higher up, it does feel a little bit like you're a little bit unbalanced. It's like you're kind of top heavy. It doesn't feel unsafe or anything like that. It's just that something I noticed that, especially if you're going at the top speed with the seat higher, it does feel a little bit unstable. But when you're lower the seat a little bit and you're just using the throttle at full speed, it feels fine. I just think that you have to probably find the seat height that's good for you. Now the handlebar height was not adjustable, but it did feel okay to me. Like I didn't feel like it was too low, although I think I would have appreciated if it was adjustable a little bit higher. But overall, it didn't seem like it was terrible. If you're wondering about the handlebar height being a little bit too low, I'm about 6 feet tall, and it felt okay for me. So obviously this bike is going to be, I think, mainly suited for paved surfaces like sidewalks and some side streets, maybe some paved pathways. I did ride this on some like graded gravel surfaces here. You can see at this park there's some non-paved surfaces, but it's mainly a little bit of dirt and gravel. Has no problem going over that kind of surface. But if it's like off-roading, big rocks, that kind of thing, grass, this bike is not the best for that. It doesn't have a lot of power for that kind of stuff, so this is not really a mountain bike. I think this is going to be best suited for situations where maybe you're commuting and you're going to be riding the bike to like a bus stop or something like that, taking the bike on the bus or train, and then when you get off to your stop and to get to that basically the last mile to your office or whatever your destination is, this bike is going to be fine for that, for those sort of shorter trips. But beyond that, if you're looking for something especially long, continuous riding, it's probably not the best bike for that, even though it does have pretty good range. The seat is pretty comfortable considering how small it is. Had good padding, has some springs underneath. There's no suspension on this bike at all. There's no front or rear suspension. So basically, if you're on a really rough road, you will eventually feel the bumps and stuff on the seat. And I would say for longer rides on that kind of surface, it's probably not a good bike for that. But if it's paved and smooth, it should be totally fine. I would say, several miles at least. If you want to go in, 5 or 6 mile stretches, no problem. Again, it really depends on how heavy you are and the terrain, how hilly it is, for your overall range for the battery. It's a pretty big battery at 10 amp hours. This bike is based off of, I think there's a lot of similar bikes that use this sort of frame and style, but they come with smaller batteries. Of course, they are a little bit cheaper, but of course you have much less range with the smaller batteries. I think some of the other models come with 3 amp hour batteries or 6 amp hour batteries, and those usually have less than 10 miles of range on a full charge, while this one will have much more. It really depends again on your terrain, but it could be 15, 20, 30 miles depending on whether you're just using throttle or pedaling. So if you're looking for a budget e-bike, this is around a $500 price point. Pretty good compared to a lot of other e-bikes out there, and you're not looking for super long range or long trips, or shorter commutes. This bike's going to be really good for that. It sort of fits that, it's a good enough bike. It's not a super awesome bike, but it will get the job done. And if you're on a tight budget, this is a bike that will definitely be in your price range. That's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out the link in the video description. I might have some coupon codes added down there later at some point. It really depends on what kind of sales they have going on. That's going to do it for this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.